Good evening, bipeds. Stephen Sashen, co-founder and chief barefoot officer here at Xero Shoes with our monthly Ask Me Anything, which normally happens on the third Tuesday of the month, but now it's the fourth Tuesday of the month because I and Lane, my wife and co-founder, we were out of town last week. We were in Copenhagen and frankly doing 5 o'clock mountain time, which is what it is right now. In Copenhagen, it's 8 hours later, so that's way too late. So this is an Ask Me Anything, which means you can ask me anything. It's a live event, but if you're not watching it live, not a problem. You can still ask us anything. You can put comments below. I will see them over there on my screen if you're actually doing this in real time. If you're not doing it in real time, we will still have someone who will find your comments and respond to them. So feel free to chime in. If you're new to Xero Shoes, I'm going to give you the quickest intro about what we're up to. I've got some special things, some new colorways of products, some things where we have a actual special going on, and something that's kind of a upside down special that I need to tell you about. It's kind of important information. But first, let me start with who we are and what we're doing here for anyone who does not know. So in short, this is not about footwear. This is about optimal human functioning. This is having you feel better to be able to do whatever you want to do. Walk, run, hike, play, do yoga, CrossFit, paddle ball, padel, if you're into that, or paddle, as some people call that one. Whatever it is you like to do, we want to help you do that better by letting your feet do what they are made to do. What does that mean? Well, let's start with a simple thing. A quarter of the bones and joints of your entire body are in your feet and ankles. They're supposed to bend and move and flex. That's for balance, agility, and mobility. If you don't let them do that job, that function tries unsuccessfully to move up into your ankle, your knee, your hip, and your back. Those joints are not made for that, so that's a problem. Secondly, you have more nerve endings in the soles of your feet than anywhere but your fingertips and your lips. That's so your brain knows what you're stepping on or stepping in, so it can help control your feet and help you move better over, whatever you're on or in by using those muscles, ligaments, and tendons. So in short, if you can't let your feet bend, move, flex, and feel, you're not able to do those things you like to do, and you could end up with problems that make it so you can't do those things, issues with your knees, your hips, or your back. So what do we do to help with that? I'm going to show you a comparison. Normal shoes, pointy toe box, squeeze your toes together. When you squeeze your toes together, that restricts blood flow in your foot. That's a problem. Instead, at Xero Shoes, we have a wider foot-shaped toe box. Your toes can spread, splay, and do whatever they're supposed to do. Ramon says hi. Hi back at you. Secondly, they elevate your heel. That messes with your posture. You have to lean back just a little bit. It's very subtle, but it puts strain on your knees, your hips, and your back. We have what's called a zero drop sole, same height here as here. And the other thing is these things tend to be pretty stiff. I'm really working hard to bend, and that's not where your foot actually bends. We make Xero Shoes super, super flexible. So all those bones and joints can do what they're supposed to do. Clearly, if your foot does this, you got problems. You need to consult a professional. But my point is, we let your feet do what they're supposed to do. Also, all this foam here, and this is like not a lot of foam, makes it so you can't feel and have your brain help you move those bones and joints that all that flexibility is about. So we give you just the right amount of protection, but also the ground feeling your brain is looking for to help you run, walk, play, hike, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Also, our soles are designed to give you the traction you're looking for. And unlike most shoes, which they say you need to replace them every 200 to 300 miles, we make a special rubber. We call it our Feel True rubber that is backed with a 5,000-mile sole warranty. Last but not least, we make Xero Shoes really lightweight. We've literally had people say they went to bed still wearing them because they forgot they had them on, or came home and usually kick off their shoes, but they forgot to do that too. And we now have over 60 different styles of casual and performance shoes, boots, and sandals that people wear from everything from taking a walk to running out and playing and doing whatever they like to do, including being in the NBA or WNBA. We literally have NBA players and WNBA players playing with Xero Shoes, our X1 basketball shoe, on the court. Speaking of which, if anyone's been following that, the player who helped inspire our basketball shoe project is Temi Fig-Benley, who's a WNBA, the center for the Golden State Valkyries. She's actually away. If you're watching the Valkyries, you're not going to see her for a little bit because she's going to represent Great Britain, their national team. That's where she's from originally at the FIBA Eurobasket, the Eurobasket 2025. They started playing on the 19th versus Spain, and they're going to be playing, so be on the lookout for her there. Okay, what else can I say about that? Nothing really. Couple announcement-y things just for fun. Ooh, comments. I know summer just began, but I'm curious what you like to wear during winter when I go outside. That's from Shane. If you mean shoes, I wear the same. Well, I mostly wear the same things year round, either nothing. I do a lot of barefoot stuff, even in the winter. I mean, I don't go for, if you go to xeroshoes.com/cold, you will see what I did when I first started doing this like 16 years ago. I was curious how long I could go with just our either bare feet or our thinnest sandal that we ever made. And I would go out and come back and warm up, go out, come back and warm up. And over time, I was out longer and longer and longer till I was out after 30 minutes shoveling snow. But so I wear the Speed Force and our sandals, all of our sandals. I'm going to show you a couple of those. But the Speed Force and the HFS are my favorite shoes. But in the winter here in Colorado, where it gets super cold and icy, and I'm walking the dog for an hour, hour and a half, our Alpine fully waterproof snow boot is my favorite. That thing, it just crushes it. So that's what I wear. More comments. Hold on. Let me answer those and we'll go on with my announcements. Looking Up says, new to barefoot shoes, wanted to help plantar fasciitis. I do have your Z-Trek and enjoy them. Maybe I would maybe size down, but they still work. Would like next to get an everyday casual type. So for the casual stuff, we have a lot of those. We have a buy one, get one sale going on right now for our Dylan, the Dylan knit in men's and women, black and white. So if you go to xeroshoes.com, you will see that we're doing a buy one, get one, I think 50% off. Don't hold me to it. I can't remember that in my head. So the Dylan is one of our most popular casual shoes. And then the Nexus knit is another super popular casual shoe. But even people take our performance stuff and just wear that around as a casual shoe. It's just a style thing. So enjoy. Ramon, what's the best way to clean or wash Xero shoes? We recommend hand washing. Just use some dish soap. If you're gonna try them in a washing machine, put them in a bag so they don't get bounced around. Remove the insoles. Wash them with a whole bunch of other stuff, cold, short, and air dry. That's what I can say for that. Diggy, my Prios are not getting old despite heavy daily use for a year. What black magic have you summoned to make this possible? I'm not allowed to speak the names of those beings who allowed that to happen. If I do, we lose the magic powers and everything turns into dust. But you knew that. Peter Cunningham, you're going to bring out more sizes for the Speed Force 2. Some are out. Yes, we are bringing them out, but I don't know when they're coming. So email our customer happiness team, support@xeroshoes.com, and ask them. They will know. I don't store that info in my head because I got too much other stuff in my head. Woof says, will there ever be a barefoot thong type of slipper for home from Xero Shoes or any other home type of slipper? We already have home type of slippers. Wait, hold on. Where are they? Wait. Stay on target. We have, hold on. I got 3. Okay, ready? Our Sunrise, which is a microfiber that is great for, being a slipper inside. You can step on the heel, wear it that way, or slide in. It's a great camp shoe. We have the Pagosa, same idea, but with a faux wool upper that gives you a little extra warmth. Step on the heel or wear it outside. Great tread. In fact, same tread. And then if you really want something that's not really a slipper, but people wear it all the time, there's the Aptos there's another one, or the Dylan Canvas slip-on. So we have a couple of slip-ons that are not slippers, but slip-on shoes. So those are the slip-on things. Hope that's helpful. Looking Up says, thanks. By the way, when I answer your question, whatever you do next, I have forgotten what I've said to you. So just FYI. All right, a couple quick announcement-y things. We have 2 new colorways that have dropped for 2 of our sandals for women. This is the Z Trail, our trail and everything else shoe sandal. It's our best-selling sandal, and this is the fuchsia. And then in the Genesis, we have, I forgot the name of what this is called. Seafoam. The Genesis, which is basically the ready-to-wear version of the first sandal we ever made, which is a do-it-yourself thing, in a seafoam upper, seafoam webbing, which is really, really cool. So you'll find those on our site now for the ladies. Do I recommend wearing toe spacers for foot health? They're certainly really cool. I don't wear them because I got a good amount of space in there from having doing this for so long, but they can be really, really helpful is the best thing I can say. We're not personally selling any simply because there are a number of companies who are making them and we can't play favorites, but be on the lookout. There are a bunch of really good products that are out there and they can be very, very helpful. So, knock yourself out. Okay. So one other announcement really quick for all of you, and feel free to spread the word. How do I want to do this? for anyone who's been on these calls, I can't keep a secret, and actually letting you behind the scenes to know what's actually going on in the business has been very important for Elena and I since day one. People call that transparency. We call it being a human being. So one of the things that's going on, as you know, not surprised, a lot happening with tariffs, and we are affected by that as well. We are doing everything we can with our factories to reduce the impact of those tariffs, and we're absorbing a lot of the cost of those, and it is a significant cost. And we are not able to absorb the entirety of the cost. So we're going to be doing some raising prices on some of our products for adults a week from today, July 1st. I don't know the exact amounts. Telling you, and we're keeping it as low as possible. And if we're really lucky, the universe will change, but who knows? But most importantly, I'm telling you now, because if there's something that's been on your list and you're kind of like, I'll get it eventually, it'll be less expensive between now and July and like the end of this month, 30 days, half September, April, June 30th, than if you wait till the 1st and beyond. So take advantage of that, and I hope you can. And spread the word that, there is an opportunity to get these things before we have to do this small tariff price increase. I hate that we are doing it, but I hate that we have to do it because of the things that I hate. Okay, back to you, Digi. Is there a way to make a masculine sandal? I resent that. I don't know what that means. So if you want to make a suggestion to our product team, grab some links or images that explain what you mean by a masculine sandal, and then go to xeroshoes.com/feedback and submit that to our product team. They read that feedback, and we'll see what we can do. We actually have, I literally don't know what you mean by a masculine sandal, because 65% of our sandals are sold to men, and all of our sandals, both the Z Trail, the Genesis, the Aqua Cloud that's over there. I don't have a sample of the new D Trail or the H Trail, which is where it's basically this kind of a lacing style on this kind of an outsole. So we have, I think, like 5 or 6 different sandal styles, and there's only one that's available for women only. That's the Jessie. The rest are purchased by men and women all around the world. But if you have a particular style, then again, submit that request at xeroshoes.com/feedback. Let's see. Word us. Sometimes when I wear the Warache type sandals, the front folds under my foot as I walk, and I get anxious walking faster due to that. Is that a size issue, or do I have them together incorrectly? I don't know, because I haven't seen you. I need to see a picture of you in the sandal, and I need to see, ideally, how you walk. So it doesn't fold over by magic. I can hold it up like this. Nothing just folds because of gravity. So what's happening is you're catching the front edge. Which this is going to sound really weird. If your brain doesn't think you're wearing anything, it might just have your toes coming across the ground lower than you would think, and you might be catching the front edge. It might be that you're catching the front edge because, like you said, they're not tightened quite enough. And this is a common thing that people, I go for what I call a snug but comfy fit. And often when someone tells me that things are a little floppy or a little flappy, I go in and I tighten especially the front, this section here, just a little more. So again, it feels like you can get your finger in there, but that's it. Like that, snug but comfy means, can't do this with my foot, this is tricky. Snug but comfy means I can just get my finger in there. Otherwise, you don't want it cutting off circulation. You don't want it leaving big dents, but you want, give it a little tightness and see. The best thing I can say is experiment, is try tightening and see what that does. See if your toes are like way behind. If your toes are like way here, that's a whole different story. If they're, right like that, then you should be okay. What I can tell you, I'm just having a flashback to my early days when I was making these and wearing these, especially if I was walking on grass. Every now and then I'd catch a front edge, and it's like, ooh, what's going on? And then I noticed over time that it just stopped happening. And I can't remember the last time it happened. What I can also tell you is if you catch it, nothing bad's going to happen. It's going to flip back up. So I haven't heard of anyone like catching a front edge and going, but again, play with tightening. If you want, take a picture, send it into our customer happiness team about that. Pay attention to lifting your foot, this much further off the ground. When your foot comes off the ground, it should automatically or kind of reflexively, your toes kind of do this. See how your walking style is impacting things. Go to xeroshoes.com, under the Learn More section, there's a thing, I think it's called Walking the Natural Way. And I made a video about what I call natural walking style. That might help as well. Because like if you're kind of leaning back when you walk, then that makes it easier for your foot to kind of drag across the ground as it comes underneath your center of mass. If you're up above your hips and your shoulders above if your shoulders above your hips and your hips are above your feet, then it's less likely for that to happen. This is a long answer to what's a simple thing of see what happens. And if it happens more on one side than the other, then it's definitely just a gait thing, because why is one side working fine, the other side not? So that's a long meandering something that I hope is helpful. Do I mean like a slide? That's somewhere else. I don't know what you're referring to about that. Ironically, what you said, walking faster might make it better. Because when you're walking faster, your gait's going to be different. So see where that goes. Wolf, thanks for the answer. I was wondering if there'll ever be a barefoot thong type of slipper for home use from Xero. You mean basically like a flip-flop. And the answer to that is, this is tricky. Probably not a flip-flop. Wolf, do you mean like a slide? Okay, so we're not going to do a flip-flop, because when you have just the thong and nothing behind you, that creates some weird gait things that we're not a big fan of. Wait, I'm going to read this a little more. Okay, yeah. Okay, and I'll say more about making these a little more convenient too. A slide, I actually invented one that was amazing for 50% of the people who tried it. I mean, it was really, really cool and beautiful. But again, it didn't really work for half the people who tried it, just because of the geometry of the webbing and the geometry of people's feet. There are some things we're playing with to try and solve that, but it's tricky. It's the simplest thing I can say. If you are wearing any of our current sandals, it's definitely not the same as being hands-free, but the closest thing to hand. I do know some people who have taken the Z Trail or the Z Trek, and they said that it's worked for them hands-free. I mean, I do know one person who cut off the heel strap. I'm not recommending that. I haven't tried it. I don't know what that'll do. And again, could be that the geometry just worked for that one person. But what I will say is the way that I get in and out of these is just this strap that's the instep strap. I don't use this little watch band thing, this rubber watch band. I just open this up as much as when I get out of them, I just flick that open so I can slide in. I literally can slide in, and then I just go zip and I'm in. So that's what I do. I hope that's helpful. But again, put in your request that you're looking for a slide at xeroshoes.com/feedback. The more requests we get for a specific thing, the more it inspires the product team to really dig in and try and find a solution. The Vivo, has a new kind of thong slip-on. It's custom made for your foot and 3D, but they've only made a handful of them. And here's a weird thing. Just because something is 3D made to be based on a 3D model of your foot doesn't mean it's what is going to be comfortable for you or works for you. I'm not trying to diss what they're doing, but there was another company that was doing 3D sandals, and they found that while they could make it perfectly to match your foot, it wasn't what people necessarily wanted. Like I saw a lot of sandals when I was in Europe over the last couple of weeks. Some people wear them with their toes back here. Some people with their toes right here. Some people with their toes literally like this. So the pads of their toes were on the sandal, but the front of their toes were off. So that personal preference thing is huge. So do with that what you will. Let's see. Thanks for the answer. Definitely feel my glutes when I walk. That's cool. Vivo Barefoot. They haven't launched it fully yet, from what I hear, for the 3D stuff, and I don't know what it's going to cost, but that's another story. Those slippers he's mentioned can warn us to slip on. Oh, yeah. Again, these things, just for getting something that you can literally slide into, that works great. And yes, closed toe in the summer depends on where you are. These are kind of breathable, but not a whole lot, admittedly, because these are designed to be warmer. So I get it. But again, leave that as a suggestion. That's how things get done over here. Green legs, not ham. I love that. What did I wear on my feet during my travels to Europe? I pretty much exclusively was in my Speed Force. I brought my Z Trail sandals, but for some reason I only pulled them out like once or twice, because the weather was kind of rainy a lot of the time where we were. And also it was kind of cool most of the time, except when we got to Copenhagen. and there's some warm time there. But what it really was, I don't know about you. I'm someone where if it's not like right in front of me, it may as well not exist. And when we were moving around from place to place, I packed my sandals in a part of my suitcase that's like a zippered thing inside of a zippered thing. So I just forgot they were there because I just wasn't seeing them. I didn't, when I unpacked things, I forgot to unzip multiple zippers to get to them. So I wore the Speed Force all around all those cobblestones. It was awesome. Wolf, gotcha. I feel you. Thank you for the insider. My assumptions line up with yours, despite the SEA region using flip flops. Predominantly Xero in your interview steered me to the right changes. Yeah, I've had that same thought, but the other thing is, people in Southeast Asia, there's a lot of biomechanical things they do differently than people in the West. They don't tend to lean back when they're walking. They have flexibility sort of in their ankles and knees and hips that a lot of Western people don't have. Like, they'll spend a lot of time in a deep squat. Most of us don't do that. I can do that, but we don't do it the same way. All those things play into, what you do on your feet, because what happens with your glutes impacts your feet. What happens with your feet impacts your glutes. So it's a dance, it's a play. Jason, summer sale coming soon. That's on more models. I have no idea. So what's happening now, we have a buy one, get one, I think 50% off on the Dylan, white and black. And like I mentioned just a few moments ago, because we are having to do a slight tariff raise to cover the increase in cost to us that we can't absorb, that's happening a week from today on the 1st of July. So between now and then, things are the prices they are. And then they're going to go up a little bit, the adult products. I don't know what the amounts are. It's going to be different for different products. So I don't have that info. Sally Sailor. Hi, Stephen hey, I was just there. And got a pair of Dylan shoes in canvas today. They are fantastic. Seriously, I was just there. Anyway, happy to hear. I did something happened that was really, really fun when we were in Copenhagen, which, by the way, I have never fallen in love with a country or a city like I have with Denmark. And oh my God, Copenhagen, it's safe, it's beautiful, the people are delightful, it's efficient. Anyway, I'm walking down this one particular street. Actually, I rented a car. We drove from Germany into Denmark, and I dropped off the car and I was going to walk to where we were staying. It was going to be about a 45-minute walk, but I wanted to do it to kind of get a sense of the city and see what was going on. And I see a sign on a store a little ahead of me that looked like a drawing of a barefoot. I don't remember all the names of all the stores that we sell in. Yeah, in Copenhagen. I don't remember all the names of the stores that we sell in. And I didn't have this in my head at all because we were in vacation mode. And like, if I'm going to New York City, where I lived for 10 years for business, I will forget to call my friends because in my head, I'm there for business, not to see my friends, even if I have plenty of time to see my friends. So it never occurred to me to look up the stores that we had in Copenhagen and other parts of Denmark, like Odense. Anyway, I'm walking down the street. I see a sign, looks like a barefoot. I peek my head in and there's Xero shoes all over the walls. And so I walk in and I grab my phone to take a selfie to send to Lena to tell her that it's going to take me a little longer to get home than I thought, at which point one of the managers comes out wondering why is someone taking selfies of shoes and walks around and looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, it's you. I know you. I mean, I know who you are. I mean, oh my God, it's you." And we had a really good time, talked about everything we're doing there in Denmark. And I did say to him, I'm in vacation mode, so I might come back and we could do some fun things, or we might have to do that on my next trip back because I know I'm coming back. So, FYI. Replying to Jason Koenig. Jason, the more models are going to be on sale soon. Follow our socials for updates. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with all that. Some of that happens kind of spur of the moment. Nick, will you be coming out with new colors for the Prio or HFS? Not in the immediate future. I know that's happening moving forward, but that's going to be at the earliest fall, like August-ish, or spring of 26. I don't know the cadence for that, unfortunately, but we're always coming up with new colors. Andy, any suggestions about sweating and stickiness with barefoot shoes? Do you select thin socks that don't affect FAIR? I know you meant something else, but I know whatever you meant to say that I can't figure out. I agree with that. If you're going to wear a sock, you want like a merino wool, like the thinnest one you can get away with, because you don't want to interfere too much with the feedback that you're getting, so your feet tell your brain how to move better. So yeah, if you're going to wear a sock, grab a sock. There's also You can find some things like this. Eventually, we were going to sell these, but I'll pitch it now. So from Halo Gear, I don't have a website for them, but you know those little desiccant things that you get in vitamin packs or whatever, or electronics? This is just a giant version of that. And at the end of the day, toss it in your shoe, dries things out, adds a little clean smell. There are a number of companies making things like this, so that can be helpful as well. Oh, what's next? Yes, Sally, Copenhagen, which I just said I love. Will I ever make boots that you can zip up with the zipper on the side so you don't have to spend all day doing the laces? Well, we've done it for the ladies. So if you want that for the dudes, I don't know what's happening. There's one shoe that I'm thinking of. Anyway, I'm not sure is the best thing I can say. I know there's been talk about that. Go to xeroshoes.com/feedback. Tell them that's what you're looking for. You can reach out to the customer happiness team and ask if they know what's coming up, but I don't remember. But you're not the first person to request that, so give it a whirl. Melissa says, hello from GA, which could be Georgia or many other things. It could be GA was the initials for the dorm next to the dorm that I lived in college. Amy Forson, love my Xeros. Have the family, hiking shoes, hiking boots, trainers, and snow boots. All of them get worn in the mountains of East Tennessee. 10 out of 10, never need moleskin on any of them either. Happy to hear it. And I love the mountains of East Tennessee. So you're in one of my favorite places. And yes, Sally, that is the store. And you are correct. And yes, it's kind of right on the edge of Fredericksburg, which we were staying in, which I loved staying in Fredericksburg, which, oh man, so delightful. Had I known you were there, we could have gone to, what's the name of the place? Starts with a T, downtown. It has the 2 food courts and the kind of farmer's market-y thing in between. And wait, I'm going to look up something else. For anyone who ever is going to Copenhagen, I want to see if I can find this. Someone on our last day there said, oh man, my history got wiped. Someone on our last day there pointed us to an ice cream place in the meatpacking district. They said it's the best ice cream in the world, which I thought was a really big deal thing to say, and had to put that to the test. And in fact, it was. And oh, come on. I'm searching up ice cream Copenhagen meat packing district. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, what's the name of it? All right, I'm looking it up. Oh yeah, okay, I don't know how to say this. I'm going to spell it for anyone. ISMAGERIET. Oh my God, is all I can say. So the food in Copenhagen and all of Denmark, actually, just so good. All right, anyway, moving on. Chris Goodson, love my Xero shoes. Won't wear anything different. Happy to hear it. Sally, I have the Konas, the Prios, the Z-Trail sandals, and the Dylan Canvas. Happy to hear that too. I did see a handful of people walking around in Xeros while we were in Denmark. Also, Lane and I, we took the Queen Mary to get to Europe, and I got spotted 5 times by people in their Xero shoes. That was super fun too. Peter, what's the stack height on the Speed Force 2? I don't know. All I can tell you is it's the most barefoot shoe we make. The sole is about 4.5 mil. Then there's like maybe 0.5 mil, 3/4 mil. That's the thing that connects the sole to the shoe. And then the insole, if you want it in or not, is a couple mil, up to you. But the Speed Force 2 is the closest thing to barefoot that we make in shoes. Digi, baking soda worked great too for odor and sweaty shoes in between washings. Passing that on to people who ask about cleaning. Clive James, just wondering if your replacement insoles are going to be available on the UK website at any point. Great question. No idea. Reach out to support@xeroshoes.com and ask them. It's a very good thing to do. Thomas Andrews, new colors of the Prio suede this fall, and what kind of price increases are coming? I don't know the answer to either of those questions. On the Prio suede, I just don't know because I can't store we have 60 plus styles now, and for me to keep all the colorways in my head, I wouldn't remember how to make dinner, and then my wife would leave me. So you can reach out and ask the customer happiness team, support@xeroshoes.com, and they might know the answer. Or you might just have to wait and see what happens in like August or so when we start bringing out the new products for the fall. On the tariff increases, it's as small as we can make it. We're trying to keep it as small as humanly possible. And we're not only doing it for the adult shoes because we are absorbing a lot of these tariff costs. It's not inexpensive, but it's the right thing to do. We are happily still in the barefoot shoe world, I think, the affordable brand. especially for something with our 5,000-mile sole warranty and our 24-month manufacturer's warranty. So hopefully that'll help. But I don't know that info either. That'd be way too much for me to keep in my brain. But we are doing that a week from today. Matt McGinnis, really liking the new summer colorway on the Speed Force 2. Cool. I like it too. That's a fun one. Sally had an appointment with one of the Denmark's leading foot surgeons in May. I showed him my Prios. He was very interested, and I'm trying to cure my bad foot, and the horrific pain has subsided. Happy to hear that. One of the things that I wish we had known we were there. We could have gone out for ice cream. This is one of Lena's and my fantasies, is that we get enough people who are running the show that Lena and I can just do our favorite thing, which is travel. And we'll spend a day hanging out with the various stores in some area and creating content and doing something fun. And then we go on vacation for a week. And then we go to a new place and we just keep doing that. Lather, rinse, and repeat. But it might be tricky if we go back to Denmark, which we will. And it'll be tricky to leave because we really love it there. Even though we also love Finland, we also love Sweden, we also love Germany. We haven't been to Norway yet. We also love Estonia. We also love Lithuania. There's lots of places we love. If I could do one day vacation destination for the rest of my life, where would it be? Did you ask? I can't answer that because I haven't been everywhere yet. But I will say, out of all the places we have been, if I was going to live there, so you said vacation destination. That's a different story. Wait, I got to think about that. I definitely can't answer that because we haven't been everywhere. But if you were going to say, if I had to pick one place that I have vacation to live, right now it would be somewhere in Denmark. But I can't even say Copenhagen, even though I loved Copenhagen. But we also stayed in Roskilde, and we stayed on an island on Funen. We stayed near Faaborg, which I loved everywhere we went. So right now, Copenhagen and Denmark those are my number one spots for if I had to escape. Where am I going to go to? For vacation, though, it also depends. See, that one spot thing means it's going to have to be somewhere kind of tropical-ish, because I can't pick a place where the winters suck or the summers suck. So that's a very tricky question you've asked. I haven't been to Portugal yet. I hear that's a definite possibility. We had a wonderful time in Ecuador, up in Cuenca, up at 8,000 feet in the Andes. Loved it. But yeah, don't know. There's a lot of places to go in the world. Okay, Peter. Well, you can thank Trump for the tariffs. Anyway, Sally would have loved that, meeting you and Lena, but I fled you fled Copenhagen and now live in Jutland, where no one knows Xero Shoes. Not yet, but we know where you are, and we'll have to find you there, because that would be another wonderful thing to do. Okay, a couple of announcements again, really quickly, just for the fun of it. So we do have our buy one get one on the Dylan, our one of our two best-selling casual shoes. That and the I can do this. That and the Nexus Knit. We do have two new colorways that just got put on the site for women: the Z Trail in fuchsia and the Genesis in forest something sagey. I can't remember what it's called. In this cool color for the lacing. We are doing this very slight tariff required price increase starting on the 1st of July. So between now and then, if there's something that's been on your list and you want to save a few bucks, now's the time to do that. Those are the announcements. I haven't checked to see if Temi Fegbenley, our WNBA player, is still playing in the British team in the Eurobasket 2025. Check and see if she's there. Look, and she'll be wearing Xero shoes. What else? Those are the biggies. I don't want to keep everyone forever. It's now the height of summer. It is 5:34 outside of Denver, Colorado, and the sun will be up for another 3.5 to 4 hours. So now is the perfect time to enjoy dinner sitting outside with my wife and my dog, which we will do. So if you have any last minute questions, I'm going to give it going once, going twice. And while you're putting them in for those last ones, I'll just remind you of a couple things. If you're in the EU, go to xeroshoes.eu. If you're in the UK, go to xeroshoes.co.uk. If you're anywhere else, go to xeroshoes.com. If you have any questions, reach out to our customer happiness team, support@xeroshoes.com. They're very well informed about everything barefooty related and Xero Shoes related. If you have any suggestions or recommendations, I know the one thing I forget every time. If you have any suggestions or recommendations, go to xeroshoes.com/feedback. If you want to hear conversations about natural movement, go to my podcast that I always forget to mention. There's like 200 plus episodes. It's called The Movement, because we are creating a movement about natural movement. and you can help. So just search for that wherever you get your podcasts, or you can go to the website, www.jointhemovement.com. You'll find all the previous episodes, of which there are a ton, and you'll find where you can follow us on social, and you can find where you can pick up the podcast if you don't know where you want to get that. So it's fun conversations with people who are doing really interesting things around natural movement. And that includes breathing or moving things in your mind, not telekinesis, or lots and lots of stuff. We're having a good time. And so go check that out. All right, last things that came in. Sally, I should go to somewhere that I'm not going to try and pronounce in the northern part of Denmark. I would make you Danish dinner. Oh, you are, man, okay. We'll be doing that at some point. Thank you for making the best shoes I've ever had, she said. Thank you. Digi or Diggy. This is like GIF or GIF, and it is GIF, by the way. I don't know if you're Diggy or Digi. Summer is great, but how to deal with mosquitoes. I can't help you there. I have no idea. Find someone who's more attractive to mosquitoes than you and walk with them. That's my best solution. No idea. Deneen asked, what's for dinner? And that's a really good question. You know, we just got back from being away a week ago, and we're still in kind of figuring out what's going on mode. And this is called TMI. Elena's had a bit of an intestinal thing going on, so I don't know what she's eating right now. And I'm just tired and lazy. So I'll tell you what I thought about doing. I was in Costco the other day, and they had something new in the freezer section. And I think they called them crispy or crunchy fries. And it's potato, like French fries, but they've coated them in something that when you put them in an air fryer or the oven, they're super crispy. The crispy part is great, but it's clear that they just extruded the fry part. So it doesn't have the same creaminess that you get with a French fry, even if you do a coating on a French fry and do them that way. That said, a bowl full of French fries was really satisfying the other day. Or if I'm going to really go for some food, I'll think Korean and go for a kimbap, which is the Japanese or the Korean version of like, any maki rolls. So there's that. Okay. What are my keystone habits to improve well-being? I get in the hot tub almost every day. I get in our infrared sauna every now and then. I work out seriously, even though it's a 10-minute workout. It's the hardest thing I've ever done as a lifelong athlete, and my favorite thing because it is the hardest thing I've ever done. So, and I can only do 3 days a week for that, but then I do other things, including sprinting still. I'm a competitive Masters All-American sprinter. And I don't eat like a bonehead. My diet is not important. It's different for different people, but I don't tend to binge on things. That's about it. Okay. Freakadillo. Okay. Sally, stop. You're making me want to come back immediately. Melissa, are we going to come out with more colors for the clouds? I missed the bright color ones like the yellow and red. Probably. In fact, definitely, but I don't know when. Again, reach out to the customer happiness team. They might know. Leave your suggestions about the colors you like at xeroshoes.com/feedback. Digi says baking soda paste on mosquitoes help post-mortem, help on mosquito bites, but post-mortem for whoever asked about mosquitoes. Okay. As always, this has been a complete blast because we talk about everything from Xero Shoes and natural movement to mosquitoes to where do you want to live for the rest of your life to anything else, because why not? I say this at the end of every one of these, other than the fact that, thank you, because this is so much fun for me, obviously, but also I say that when Lane and I started Xero Shoes just shy of 16 years ago, we had no idea that it would become what it has become, that we would have helped now almost 2 million people around the world discover the fun and benefits of natural movement in a pair of Xero Shoes. We had no idea we'd meet so many amazing and wonderful people in the places that we go to. Often when someone literally stops us on the street to go, oh my God, thank you, you changed my life. We had no idea that this whole barefoot shoe idea, this whole natural movement idea would grow the way that it has. And it's at a worldwide all-time high right now. And we're just so grateful to be able to help everyone be on this ride. And so grateful for all of you for spreading the word, because that's the way it's happened, is people sharing the experiences you all described with not only people that they know and love, but random people on the street. I did a poll once and asked, how many times have you had someone stop you to ask what you were wearing? And like 75% of the people. How many times did they already know they were Xero Shoes? It's like 65. How many times did you bump into someone else in Xero Shoes? It's like 55. So, that's just really, really wonderful and fun for us. And I'm speaking on behalf of the entire team at Xero Shoes, which is getting to be a decent sized team of human beings, because they are just as committed to all of this as Lena and I are. Some of them maybe even more. We've got some really, really wonderful people here, and which makes us very happy as well. And so the best thing and the only thing I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. We're so much looking forward to what's next. We have a lot of very exciting things in the works for the fall of this year and for the spring of next year. We're already planning 2027, which makes my head explode. And I know you're going to enjoy those things too. So thank you for being part of what we're doing and helping us do it. If it weren't for you and your ideas and your suggestions, none of this would happen. So, could not thank you enough. Thomas Andrews says, you definitely changed my life as well. Thank you so much. On that note, all I can say is, again, thank you. Go out, have fun.